Hi guys, it's Sheena from Teton Raptor Center and I'm here to give you all this week's patient update. Let's go ahead and get started. To start things off this week is our most recent release. This is Swainson's Hawk 822, and this juvenile bird came in from Idaho and was found emaciated upon admit but has since gained weight and is now back out in the wild. Our second release of the week was Bald Eagle 85, and this adult female was hit by a car in Wilson, Wyoming. And here she is being released at TRC. We released her on site since she was found so close to the Raptor Center, and she flew off beautifully, and we are all really excited to see her get out the door. And our third release for the week is Osprey 817. This juvenile bird was found hanging from his nest. There was a lot of baling twine that he was stuck in, and now here he is flying free back out in the wild. First up for our current patients this week is Cooper's Hawk 910, and this bird came in from Evanston, Wyoming after he flew into a window. The bird is currently dealing with head trauma, eye trauma, and a fractured coracoid, but luckily this fracture heals really nicely with cage rest and we're hopeful for a full recovery. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 99, and this adult bird was admitted from Sugar City, Idaho with a fungal infection in his mouth. This type of infection is called Candida, and it can be treated with an oral antifungal medication called fluconazole. Our next bird is female American Kestrel 98, and this bird came in from Rigby, Idaho with a fractured ulna. She did end up undergoing orthopedic surgery to repair the fracture on the 8th, but she's recovering really well in our ICU. Next up, we have juvenile Cooper's Hawk 95, and this bird came in from Wilson, Wyoming after he flew into a window. The bird is dealing with head trauma, a fractured coracoid, and is already eating on his own, which you can see in this video here. He's very protective over his food, but that's exactly what we like to see. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 831, and this juvenile came in from Etna, Wyoming, and is dealing with emaciation and possible paralysis to the left side of his body. You can kind of see this in the way that he's got his head crooked to the side, but we are seeing major improvements in his dexterity and overall body function, so he has moved out of the ICU and into the PCU this week. Here we have juvenile red-tailed hawk 830. This bird came in from Jackson and was emaciated upon admit. However, he's gaining weight, self-feeding, and has moved out of the ICU. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 826, and this juvenile bird came in from Victor, Idaho, and was found emaciated and weak upon admit. The bird is receiving supportive care until he's strong enough to move out of the ICU, but right now he is still receiving meds and fluids a couple times a day. Next is Peregrine Falcon 826, and this bird also came in from Victor, Idaho, but was found with a foreign object in the bird's stomach and some odd respiratory behavior. The bird is now doing much better and has been moved to an enclosure in the flight barn where she is flying extremely well, as you can see in this video here. Next we have juvenile Cooper's Hawk 825, and this bird was admitted from Evanston, Wyoming after flying into a window. He suffered mild head trauma and trauma to the right wing, but the bird is in cage rest until that wing is feeling better. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 823, and this juvenile came from Victor, Idaho with a clavicle and a coracoid fracture. The bird has made immense improvements and will begin flight conditioning in a week. Next is Golden Eagle 822, and this bird came in from Teutonia, Idaho after suffering trauma to his muscles from a suspected vehicle strike. He's currently undergoing flight conditioning and is looking so great so far. Here's a short video of him flying on a creance line out in our field. And this is mostly just because our flight barn is full and fully occupied, so we do have the option to use a creance line as well. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 810, and this juvenile bird came in from Ashton, Idaho with a fractured pelvis. He's currently flight conditioning in the flight barn for release and has already passed live prey testing. Next up is Golden Eagle 8-5, and this bird came in from Newcastle, Wyoming with emaciation and severe trauma to the left eye. Although he will never be able to see out of that left eye again, staff have deemed him a suitable candidate for education at another facility. Last but not least is Great Gray Owl 8-4, and this female was admitted from Moran, Wyoming after being hit by a car. She is doing so much better since her intake and is now flight conditioning to gear up for release in our flight barn. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. I hope you all enjoyed learning more about our birds, and I look forward to chatting with you guys next week. Bye!